Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're back with Kali, Call of Darkness, Season 3, Episode 2. Last episode, AMRIT was a little shady and he actually terrified my friends and I'm not having that. And at the end of the chapter, our little brother came into our room with his notebook where he wrote down what our grandma told him and he wants to know the tea. And I hope we can finally tell him everything because he deserves to know. So, Amala, Kiran, and Lima finally realized that they have been pawns in a big game all along. The price of victory will be measured in blood. Great! More bloodshed. Episode 2, Pawns. My brother clenched the notebook in his hand without taking his eyes off me. I hadn't seen him so upset in a long time. How long were you planning on hiding this from me? I know Grandma gets a little confused sometimes, but they're definitely not the rambling of a mad person. Why was she talking about her dead family? And about land burned to the ground? Oh, Kiran, Just don't lie to me, Amala. Not now. Tell him the truth! I was looking out for you. There are things that you're too young to understand. I wanted to tell you. I was looking out for you. That's the most reasonable thing that I could think of. It's too soon for you to get involved in something that even I'm scared about. I'm responsible for you. I won't put you in danger. Independence, you have no right to decide that for me. She was talking to me. Me. That. Like I said it multiple times. She was warning me and asking me to take care of you. How could you hide this from me? Does Grandma even know why you came here? How did she know all that? And who is she scared of? Who is she? Kiran wrote down all of Grandma's words so you know more. I started massaging my temples, trying not to completely lose my mind. Kiran's endless questions just piled up on top of those I already had. I had to be patient. I didn't want to take it out on my little brother, even if I felt like shouting. That it was also very hard for me, and I had no energy left. Listen, I don't know what Grandma was talking about. I'm trying to figure it out, but it's very complicated. Is that what you came here? Is that what you're hiding? Of course not. I came here to work on the investigation, but everything took a different direction, and I stopped suddenly faced with a horrible, glaring truth. This whole thing was a setup to force me to come to Calcutta. The investigation, the need for an Indologist on the task force. I was tricked into coming here. My brother sat down on the bed dumbfounded. He looked at me sadly from under his brows. By that Doobay guy, right? Kiran knows what's up. How do you know? They took you to the temple and you were gone for such a long time. After that you became all quiet and depressed. AMRIT isn't dangerous to me. It's a mystery to me. It's unpredictable. AMRIT is unpredictable. That's the problem here. He's dangerous to us. That's a lie. AMRIT isn't dangerous to us. I mean, technically it is true because he wants something from us. He takes me and our situation seriously and won't do anything to scare or harm me. You're my brother, so you're safe too. You trust AMRIT. Your goddess path will affect the negotiations. Why? He's willing to cooperate. What kind of cooperation are we talking about? It's complicated. Kiran jumped up glaring at me. Thank you. Stop saying complicated. Just tell him the truth. My goodness. Don't you get it? I want to know everything. Tell him. He can't make use of any of these little informations that you're giving him. This is insane chain reaction. This is a long chain of things that have been piled up about your truth, about the history of your parents, aka of her mother, of her grandmother. He deserves to know. He makes part of that family. You know that. You don't know more, but everything you know, you can tell him. And the more you tell him, the more he knows that you haven't kept anything from him. Do you expect me to sit around without a clue, knowing only that you're out there risking your life? What sort of brother do you think I am? You're so young. You shouldn't worry about any of this. Please have fun. Just focus on school. He can't. He's already in it. I was consumed by guilt. What sort of brother? Rather, what sort of sister was I putting him in danger? How could I explain to him what AMRIT Doobay was capable of if we made him angry? How could I explain to him that I'd seen our mother with her throat cut? He seemed to guess what I was thinking. I'm no longer a kid, Mala. I'm strong and clever enough to help you out. If he's clever enough to read between the lines, then it means that he has gained enough wisdom to know what's up. You've got enough on your plate already. You take care of me, Grandma, the shop, the house. Kiran squeezed my hand for the first time. I realized how much he had grown. Those were not the small hands of the child who used to cling to me on the way to school. A young man's hands were holding me firmly and securely, as if to say, I'm here for you, I have your back. Do you think I didn't see how difficult it was for you? You stopped going out with your friends and rejected boyfriends because you spent all your time with me or at work. I wanted to raise you to be a good person, not leave you to fend for yourself. I wanted to give you everything you could ever need. And you did, so stop it now. Just relax for a moment. I'm not a child, and I can deal with this. I'll tell you. Tell him. My God. Do I have to sing? I think I can count on you. I trust your judgment. I'm listening. You trust your brother. Sometimes relying on others is the right choice. He deserves to know this has nothing to do with relying on someone. He deserves to know it's his truth as well. It's part of his family, his legacy. It was his mother. It's his grandma. I told him about her family and the role the Basus played in Bengal. I explained about her grandma's business, the alliance with the Doobays and the Dozen. So we're from here? From this very city? If we came from a wealthy Kshatriya family, why did Mom always say that she ran away from poverty? This is a question I'm trying to answer right now. I want to help you. I knew it would end like this, Kiran. No. Mala, yes. Kiran. You know what? I'm in love with Kiran. Oh, go off, King. Now I finally understand what the hell's happening to me. What are you talking about? He's having the same visions. Kiran stared, pacing the room, speaking in an agitated manner. I'm going crazy here, that's what. It's part of his legacy. He's not adopted. He has the same blood running through his veins. The entire family is going insane with these visions. Oh, no. I always feel anxious. It's like I hear voices, even though I'm alone in the room. I dream of strange stuff, things from a past that I have never seen or don't remember. It's scary, and the worst part is that I don't want to run away from here. Why didn't you tell me anything? Bitch, shut up! You did the exact same thing! I was worried about your reaction. I thought I was going crazy like Grandma. It hurt so bad to hear his words and to realize that he was going through the same thing as I was at the very beginning. You're not going crazy. What exactly do you see? Some weird stuff. I can't even explain it, to be honest. How odd. My visions are detailed and clear, and he can't even put his into words. Don't worry. We'll sort it out. I'll find a doctor and get them to run some tests. Okay. Why? He has to go to the doctor to get checked out, but you don't. My brother sighed, relieved, but I felt my heart breaking into a million tiny pieces. All this time he had been so worried, but he kept smiling at me and pretending that everything was fine. Let's go have breakfast. Mrs. Chauhan is at the table in the veranda. She said we'll eat there during the puja. I nodded. Somewhere in the back of my mind I was still angry at myself for not noticing that Kiran was not well. Do you know what's good about all this? What? Is there anything good? I can still trust you. You were lying when you said you came here because of the investigation. When I got the notes translated, so many things went through my mind. Speaking of which, who helped you with the translation? His little crush? That? Yeah. She wasn't too keen at first, like she was scared or something. Scared? Yes, and then she said she was doing me a big favor by translating that. And I was like, oh, so do I owe you now? Okay, that's not what I actually said. I felt embarrassed and just thanked her. Yeah, Sabanjari. And she's connected to what's going on. She must know something. Otherwise, why would she be scared? I need to talk to her when I see her next. Did I say something wrong? You look worried. Be careful around her. We don't know anything about Yaya yet. I'd crack a joke, but you seem pretty wound up. That's right, sit down. You went for a walk with Yaya and this affected the plot. I patted Kiran on his shoulder. Go have breakfast. I'll join you soon. Or do you want me to come with you? I remember you being a little tense around Priyanka. No, it's fine. Thanks, though. You know that Kiran is worried about something. Kiran went downstairs. Well, now Kiran knows. Yes. Of course, the one who got me into this mess also knows. But AMRIT wouldn't hurt Kiran, would he? If he's telling the truth and he's taking me seriously, he won't dare hurt my brother. Besides, Kiran is also Basu, part of an important family. His blood is valuable. You try to trust AMRIT because there are feelings between you. Really? I was afraid that my brother could be in danger. Things seemed to have taken a turn for the worse. But I managed to calm down a little. Ignoring the headache that had been tormenting me since morning, I went downstairs. Try it, girl. The Chauhans, Kiran, and Yaya were already waiting for me, sitting on the sofas. Good morning. Come and eat breakfast. The roti's cold. Would you like some vegetables? Mrs. Chauhan started fuzzing around me. I shifted my gaze to Yaya, who was discussing something with Kiran. My brother looked a little lost. Yaya's here. I need to find a way to talk to her. Mrs. Chauhan, may I ask you a question? Of course. Was your maiden name the same as Yaya's? Banerjee? Yes, of course. My family is part of the dozen, as you know. How come you're allowed to marry a person outside the circle? Well, even though Aryan's family isn't part of the dozen, they're still influential. And believe me, I was very beautiful when I was young. He was very persistent in his attempts to marry me. You're still very beautiful, Meradil. If Yaya is involved with AMRIT's group, Priyanka must also be aware of everything. Yamaya must have told her what's going on. I met Mrs. Chauhan's eyes. Her lips curled into a knowing smile. We made small talk about the recent festival. Everyone shared their impressions, what kind of offering for Durga they bought, and so on. And the performance at the end was very impressive. Speaking of which, your dance was impressive, so graceful and expressive at the same time. Respect, let's go. When the sky started to thunder, I swear, I believed that my Devi herself was going to come down to us. What was everyone talking about when the storm began? I didn't understand anything. My poor Kiran. They were in awe of Amala and Mr. Doobay, and they believed that they had skillfully appeased Durga and attracted her attention. To be honest, I also believed that. They looked so good. I know. Everyone is talking about what happened at the festival. I know. I look great with my soulmate. Looking at Kiran and me, Yaya suddenly asked, By the way, Kiran, have you met him yet, Mr. Doobay? Not yet. Am I supposed to? I think so. It will probably happen at the next meeting. It will be interesting for me to see you together. Why do you want to see us together? What? You can't choose between us two? I'm just wondering if you're as similar as you look. Similar? Wait, according to the book about the dozen, Kir matches the characteristic features of the Doobays more than those of the Basus. If you put them side by side... Don't try me. Please do not try me. Do not try me. Don't tell me that my brother is adopted. Don't try me right now. Do not try me. Dark skin, green eyes, dark curly hair. Oh my god, like he actually looks like he could be part of that family. Kiran really looks like all the Doobay men. Devadas, Vimal, Rishi, and AMRIT could be mistaken for his brothers and uncles. But I don't look like that. And we definitely have the same parents. There's no doubt about that. Say we're related, I'm about to cry. You read Meryl Patil's book very carefully, so you can speculate about this. Kiran is not coming with me to that meeting. Mala, don't be like that. And by the way, what meeting are you talking about? I want to pay a visit to the Doobays. I'm being forced to pay a visit to the Doobays. I'm interested in attending a meeting with the local elite. I want to pay a visit to the Doobays. AMRIT arranged a meeting which I plan to attend. It's important to discuss our common interests, so I don't mind going. AMRIT promised that he would personally come to pick me up. I guess I'll have no choice but to introduce you. Kiran was about to reply with something snarky, but Priyanka interrupted him. You were invited to a meeting with the Doobays. Oh, Amala, this day has finally come. I'm so glad. Has the young master taken a liking to you? She seems really excited. If Mrs. Chauhan belongs to a family from the dozen, does she know something about my family as well? Maybe she even knew everything about my background from the very beginning? This would explain her behavior. Miss Chauhan, shall we take a walk in the garden? Tell me some things before I go about my day. I'd like to spend some time with you. We haven't seen much of each other in the last few days, and I need your advice. My advice? Yes, I used to confide in my mom, but now there's no one I can talk to. Kiran! My brother grimaced, but instead of saying anything, he started munching harder on his breakfast, looking at me suspiciously. I was glad I raised him to be a smart guy. He can read between the lines. That's a very, very intelligent quality to have. It's very good when you have that. Mrs. Chauhan's face lit up. Of course. I'll ask the cook to clear the table. Come on, take my arm. Jaya, while you're here, do you want to practice your English with me? Oh, I'd love to. All right. A couple of minutes later, we're already walking at a leisurely pace. Dry leaves crackling under our shoes. We walked in comfortable silence until Priyanka finally spoke. What did you want to talk about? Is this about matters of the heart? Sorry to disappoint you. Respect! As part of the Banjari family, you must know a lot about other families that make up the dozen, right? Of course. I know all the main members of those families. I can imagine. I take it you knew just two Bazoo particularly well? Mrs. Chauhan slowed down, looking at me in surprise. You figured it out. So it was you, the young woman who was with my mother in her final days in Calcutta. Priyanka nodded sadly, avoiding my gaze. Girl! I was with her, yes. I tried to talk her out of leaving, but she was stubborn. You definitely take after her. It all matches. The way she talks, her love for children, and now I even see her obvious resemblance to that woman in the past. You found out the identity of the young stranger from the past. This will affect the plot. Oh, wait! Our mother was talking to someone we didn't know, and there was no name to it. You knew everything from the beginning that I'm a Bazoo? Oh, no, my girl. Not from the beginning. When they suggested I host you during the investigation, they didn't tell me anything. Mr. Doobay just warned me that he would need you and that I should be very nice to you. Did you figure out the rest by yourself? Yes, after a while. At first I thought I was delusional, imagining things. And then I realized it couldn't be otherwise. You were the one we'd been looking for. We? Do you mean the dozen? Yes, the dozen. It's weird. Can't you bring order to Bengal without me? Bengal? AMRIT told me about the dark times. He manages our affairs, so he's well aware of it. The woman sighed heavily. When I realized who you were, I knew there was a good reason for bringing you here. I had no right to ruin the dozen's plan for you. That's why I tried to dissuade you from going to Kilpagrami. What does Kilpagrami have to do with all this? It was a strange village, but not that dangerous. There were people there who seemed scared, but they didn't want to hurt me. Well, most of them didn't, and what happened in the past should stay in the past, right? Mrs. Chauhan raised her eyebrows. People, you mean, did you talk to the villagers? Got close to them? Well, at least I tried. The local Brahim helped me. My hostess seemed to shudder. She shook her head, clearly at a loss for words. I don't know what to say. There are places you shouldn't go back to. If you were spared, you shouldn't tempt fate. Fate is not always merciful. Priyanka turned to hurry back home. Wait, where are you going? We're not done talking. Please don't get me in trouble. The Doobays will laugh my head if they find out what kind of conversation I'm having with you. If the young master invited you to a meeting, don't complain and go. You'll definitely learn more from them than from me. I let Priyanka go. She clearly wasn't quite herself. This is ridiculous. You've learned important information. I didn't have time to stand around and think about it. I wanted to go see Lima and Killian to talk to them about everything that happened. After getting ready, I went down the hallway to leave. Just then, Yaya came out of the living room. Are you leaving? What about Mr. Dubai's invitation?
Will you be there too, Yaya?
Of course. My father thinks I should be involved in our family affairs.
Kiran joined us. That's right, Amala. What about Mr. Dubai's invitation?
And what do you have to do with it?
Oh, yeah.
Ma'am!
We should go together.
He didn't even let me snap back. He said it again more firmly. Thank you, Kiran.
We should go together.
And say it slowly so it imprints in her little mind. I'll think about it. Stop nagging me. No way in hell you going to come? Yes, he will. Of course, I won't say that out loud. My brother smirked confidently at Yaya. Girl, I believe he has the same stubbornness like you. If you're not gonna take him, he's gonna go there by himself. By the way, Amala, about the jewelry. My father agreed to let me give it to you. He said he should be happy to give you such a precious gift.
Really?
But it was expensive. Please enjoy it. You were given a precious jewelry set? After our conversation was over, I could finally go meet my colleagues. But before that, I had promised Gabriel to go on a walk with him. Right, there was something. He's waiting for me, and I still have things to do. Killian said he and Lima are at the hotel bar, so I should have some time. Let's meet with Gabriel. When I arrived, Gabriel was sitting on a bench. He pointedly looked at his watch.
You're 4.5 hours late.
Oh, you 4.5 minutes late? Are you kidding me?
This is not a work meeting, so I can tell you off, but I don't like to be kept waiting.
Oh, Grant, you should be grateful. I found the time to come at all.
Right, you were very busy. Even when you're out with your brother, you might find yourself in need to suddenly disappear. I guess I shouldn't take my eyes off you.
You can always watch me, sir. Path of loyalty. My brother's perfectly capable of taking care of himself. Or at least, the very least, he can chat his way out of anything. Damn. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I knew I could leave him alone for a little while as I took care of some business.
He's definitely talkative.
That's right. And if you want to accuse me of not being professional, well, right now I don't have to be.
I only started this conversation to find out what happened at the puya.
We were walking slowly along the river.
Ludwig and Burke freaked out and rushed to look for you. No one asked my opinion on that matter. That's not how I like to work.
We have been working together for a while now. We saw and learned a lot. They were worried about me, and they trusted you with the most important thing of all, my brother.
By the way, I didn't thank you, Mala. You pointed out the location of Mr. Hayes' body, and that was the main purpose of our mission. How close are you with Mr. Doobay?
Woo! Why are you asking?
It's proving quite tricky to get him to come in for questioning. Even the ambassador seems to have no way of helping us with it. It feels like the Bengali authorities are ready to fight their last breath for that man.
The tiger guards the forest, and the forest protects the tiger.
Try to convince them to cooperate. We have a lot of evidence of his involvement after what you said.
You agreed to go for a walk with Gabriel, and now you know that he's plotting something against AMRIT. Was that why you wanted to meet me? Let's just take a walk around the city, huh?
Oh, Mala, you're not so naive. I had other motives, of course. Like spending time with a beautiful woman.
Uh-huh. Are you flirting with me?
Well, since you're technically no longer working for the embassy, I'm not your boss, so I'm not breaking any rules.
That's funny. So if I slap him, I'm not breaking any rules either. Good. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. His full lips curled into a smirk. If you already have a love interest, a romantic choice with Gabriel will affect your existing relationship. Okay. Put his arm around me. Tease me.
If the investigation had dragged on any longer, I could have been killed too. And you could have been haunted not only by one ghost of your evil boss, but by two. Ha ha. Yeah, yes, two would have been a bit much. But if you keep talking about Mr. Rose like that, he'll come to haunt you too. Bad. Fortunately, we're on good terms. I know how to deal with egomaniacs because I'm one. Because I'm one myself. That's funny. Well, at least he had plenty of practice losing his head every time he threw a tantrum. Amala, you should be ashamed of yourself. Why? You and Gabriel are becoming friends. Aww. I still have things to do. I can show you the way back to the hotel. Do you mean the way I took here by taxi? That's funny. The keyword being taxi. We'll walk and I'll point out the sights. Fine. After what I signed up for, after all, lead the way. Really? What? You don't remember which way to go? Let's not make a big deal out of this. I just have trouble navigating new places. Sure love and me, Amala. Please lead the way. We spent the rest of the time chatting casually. The hotel bar, illuminated only by artificial lights, was quiet and not very busy. Only a few tables were occupied by people talking in different languages. I found Killian and Lima at the farthest table in the corner. They both looked downcast, 2 glasses of liquor in front of them. When they noticed me, their expression changed immediately. Hi. Have you already started drinking? It seems a bit early for that. Choosing a diamond outfit for Killian will improve your relationship with him. Okay. Killian answered first, emptying his glass in one gulp. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh my god. You know what? Interesting. You're interesting. Sit down, Amala. He looked at me like he wasn't in the mood for jokes. We sat there in silence. I don't really know where to start. Liam and I would be up if you start from the beginning, right? Choosing a diamond outfit for Lima will improve your relationship with her. Lima looked up at me. Oh, that's a beautiful outfit. Oh, wow. That's nice, too. Nope. I like this one. I like that her hair is open. I know AMRIT did a terrible thing, but right now I can cut him off completely. I briefly explained to them about the Basu's role and their legacy in Calcutta, but they were clearly more interested in what happened in the temple. There are things beyond our understanding. We cannot investigate them because they are simply beyond our control. Some people can interact with the supernatural and others can't. AMRIT is someone whose blood has such power. Killian frowned and shook his head. Wait. The supernatural, the divine? What are you trying to say? Don't you understand? Who do you think was grabbing at you in the temple? Where did all those shadows come from? There is a material world, and a spiritual one, and they were both created by those beings we always considered just part of the legends. Oh, for crying out loud. Not him saying, oh, for crying out loud. He pressed his fingers under the bridge of his nose as if he was talking to a child. Look. You ask? I'm just telling you. Don't roll your eyes. I'm telling the truth, and I'll prove it to you. How do you think I found out that you kept the pact between the UK and India secret from Lima and me? Yes, by the way, how did you know? Mr. Rose hinted at it. When? A few days after he died. These words hung in the air. Killian silently pushed his glass toward me. Here, drink. You clearly overworked. No. Is this funny to you? I don't remember you laughing in the temple. The day we snuck into the archive, I remember finding you on the floor shaking and terrified. That was the first time Rose came to me. Are you trying to say that you see dead people? I see a lot. That's why it's so important for me to find out the truth about my family.
Where did my visions come from? What do the dead want from me? What happened between my family and the Dubais? Why am I even here? You need to understand my position. It's vital for me to figure everything out. Please calm down. I understand. I'm not an atheist, nor have I ever been. I believe in a higher power. And about Kiran, please don't stress him out even more. He's clearly cleaned the room spotless while he was thinking about what happened.
It's hard for me to believe what Amala is saying, just as difficult as believing what happened with Dubai. It was actually able to control those. What are they? Creatures? I guess you really do need help.
Kiran continued.
It's horrifying to even think about what other she you've seen, Amala. Honestly, I don't want to leave you in this situation. We'll stay here and help you in any way we can. Besides, this also concerns the embassy, so there's still work for me here.
Really? Thank you so much. I wouldn't dare ask you to put yourself in danger like that, but I do really need your help. You shouldn't deal with this stuff alone. If what happened in the temple wasn't even the first time for you, then you really need help. Those things are terrifying, and I want you to be alright, you know?
Thank you very much. You have no idea how important this is to me. I haven't felt like I could count on someone else for a long time.
Kiran and Lima agreed to stay with you because they value your friendship. Oh. What do Doobay and those people in the temple want from you? AMRIT said they need me to help stop some trouble from happening. He implied that they would like to take control of the government and restore order in society. You know about an impending threat. Based on what you've told us, I have no idea in what direction to dig, other than maybe meeting with those people. I had another thought. Do you remember Grant telling us that he heard the locals discussing the village we went to? This morning I spoke to Mrs. Chauhan, and she warned me again about what a dangerous place that is. She said I should never go back there. I kept thinking maybe we missed something. You remembered Gabriel's and Priyanka's words. This will affect the plot.
I will ask one of the embassy translators to help us out. Lima, will you join us?
No problem.
Judging from how determined Doobay was to get to you and his fury when he chased us out of the temple, most of what's going on in Calcutta seems to have started because of you, Amala. They suddenly hired an inexperienced Indiologist from London, not just anyone but you.
Yes, and they didn't put you in a hospital with a local family, but with a local family. If it goes that deep, we might not be able to do anything about it. Gabriel was mad because it seems to be impossible to even call AMRIT Doobay in for questioning. What can we do? If what you're saying is true, then we were all just being used to fulfill their plans. We're just pawns in their game.
Trying to meddle in their affairs could end up really badly, like it did for Emmett Rose.
I want to let them push me around. We can outsmart them. They will be very sorry if they so much as touch you. That. If they want to do business with me, they'd better not harm those I care about. That. You do not touch the people I love. Something doesn't add up. AMRIT is definitely not the friendliest guy out there, but he could have easily forced your hand a lot more than he did. Instead, he's trying to convince you to negotiate, to manipulate the circumstances around you. I think he needs something very specific, something that you can only give him of your own free will.
What you're saying makes perfect sense, Lima. Then let's go to the embassy and get to work.
Lima drained her glass and then stretched.
Fine, finally there's actual work waiting for us, but we're not bringing Grant into this. Come on, he could help.
I agree to work 3 times harder if you promise me not to let him poke his nose in not his nose into this. That's funny.
Then you owe me a coffee.
Kiran. Lima is right. AMRIT's behavior must have a reason, or is there something else going on? Go ahead without me. I have to go to that meeting tonight. We said goodbye. Bye, my child. No, by my children. When I arrived, I got a phone call from Shekha, letting me know that AMRIT Doobay was going to pick me up personally. Of course, nothing else would have surprised me. Something else would have surprised me. I still had some time, so I went to my room. My headache never went away, so I needed to rest. I want to get a good look at AMRIT's ring. I don't know if you noticed it was missing. I don't want the situation with the book to repeat itself. Tonight I have a chance to sneak it back in if necessary. Then I took out the golden ring that I had been carrying with me all this time. Leaving things in the room didn't seem safe anymore. There's a lion on it. A heavy blue stone, several carats. It must be awfully expensive. It's too big. I'll try it on my thumb. What's that? There's a tiger engraved on it. I remember that AMRIT's Durga Puja Sherwani also had a similar decoration. A noise behind me prompted me to glance over my shoulder. The atmosphere in my room hadn't changed, but I was used to this by now, so I froze, staring intently into space. I know what this noise means. Someone decided to visit me. Instead, I felt a rough shove from behind, causing me to fall on all fours. I looked around, furious, but I was still alone. The sharp pain in my temples grew stronger, and then... It's up to you, it's up to you, it's up to you. What the? I tried to get up, but the cacophony of voices coming out of nowhere made me feel like my head was about to split in half. The scent of incense became stronger, and the room seemed to get covered with a cloudy veil. The buzzing in my ears was growing rapidly as the whispering voices of exhausted, tortured people started screaming and howling. Watch out. The main thing is to stay conscious and try to understand. This is just anxiety. I shouldn't be scared. I felt that those voices were not threats, but warnings. They were all whispering at the same time, but some words stood out. Take it all. Take it? Take what? I looked around to see what the voices were talking about and caught a glimpse of myself on a reflective surface where I suddenly saw... Not one, but two of me. The first was the real me, there in the room. The second one was completely different. She was dressed in expensive clothes and jewelry and grinned, spreading her arms. Behind my back, I could see a corner of the temple hall with a symbol painted on its wall. The sun and the moon. It's the same symbol. What does it mean? Why am I standing there? Take what was rightfully yours, what was rightfully ours. Take what belongs to you. And then it dawned on me. There I was, a rich heiress from an important family, wearing fancy clothes in charge of the temple. What is this, the future? No, it's too good to be true. Is this just an illusion to lure me? I shut my eyes to stop the vision. The vision disappeared and my hand wearing the ring throbbed painfully. Hot blood was racing through my veins and my heart began to hammer. Bloody hell, it's hot, it burns. I collapsed on the floor again trying to take off the ring, but it seemed to be glued to my skin. And when I looked up... Oh my god. Say hello to the Queen Kali. It's you. Uh-oh. Now we're getting confronted with the real goddess Kali. My Devi Kali. I didn't dare to say more, so intimidated by that ancient otherworldly being. I froze, still not daring to move. I was in awe of someone so sublime, so powerful, so magnificent. The goddess herself was sitting in front of me, her long, beautiful legs crossed. She was the most powerful, endowed with the powers of all the gods, the fierce one who defeated the invincible demon, the loving one who was a mother to all the people in the world. Serve me to appease my anger. Obey me to save lives. Follow my path to earn my mercy. Act, my child. You saw the goddess Kali in person. This will affect the plot. Uh-oh. Unknown creatures howled around me, and the disordered shadows that I had already seen in the temple crawled out of the walls. Now Devi disappeared, drowned in a swarm of dark creatures. I felt like I was burning, shivering all over. And the strangest thing was that an unusual feeling was growing inside me, so strong, overpowering everything else. frenzied exhilaration. It's this damn ring! To hell with it! I pulled up the ring and squeezed it tightly in my hand as if hoping to break it. I'll go crazy if this doesn't stop. Take control. Take control. You can do this. I pressed my hand against the floor to feel the ground. I closed my eyes, breathing evenly and deeply. I tried to concentrate on my breathing, on the feeling of the hard surface, stopping my thoughts not to get lost in my own madness. I ignored the endless whispers. I tried to push them to the back of my mind. It's not real. None of this is real. I'm here to fight it. I can't lose control. I'm not a victim. This thought seemed to knock all the noises out of my head. You managed to calm down. This type of control will be very useful in the future. Ooh. Suddenly my eyes flew open and I saw that the haze had disappeared. I was still shaking, and there was an unusual strange silence in my ears. Are they gone? Voices sounded in the corridor, one of them, a man. I was afraid that the door would burst open and everyone would come in asking me a million questions after hearing my screams, but only one person appeared on the threshold. Amala. Amrit. It was the first time he'd seen me like this, sweaty, shaking, helpless. Not proudly lifting my chin, talking back to him, but weak, scared. There was genuine surprise in his eyes, which he didn't even try to hide. What happened? Amrit took a step toward me as if coming to help. All I did was throw myself into his arms. At this point, he bent down to help me up, but I got up myself and pressed against his chest. I wanted to feel his warmth, his strength, his back behind, which I could hide. Amrit froze in surprise for a moment, then his arms quickly wrapped around my waist. You're shaking. What happened, Amala? Who did this to you? Oh, Amrit. No one. I don't know how to explain it. Oh, we're crying. I understand. You don't have to tell me. You're not alone. Amrit is very happy to help you. He started caressing my shoulders, trying to calm me down somehow. He probably knew exactly how I felt. Someone as strongly tied to the supernatural as he was, he faced the same things as me. Every time I think I'm ready for a new vision that I can handle it, they unsettle me completely instead. Even those that came to warn me seemed to be trying to drive me insane and scare me. What did they say? What did they show you? The future. What awaits me? Amrit lifted my chin and looked into my eyes intently. He had a strange way of helping. He didn't reassure me by telling me that everything was going to be fine. He didn't hug me, shushing me like I was a mad woman. Doobay just remained calm. Did it scare you that much? I just shook my head. He gently kissed me on the cheek, then brought my hand to his lips and gave me another kiss. I know how hard it is. If you learn to control the fits, it will be easier. How do I learn that? Don't worry about anything right now. Now you just need to calm down. Amrit held me, allowing me to relax in his arms and recover. That's also a good way to calm someone down. Slow, measured caresses made me feel safe. Suddenly he softly said, all those creatures attack you because you let them. Next time, grab them by the throat and squeeze tight. They have no idea how strong you can be. I'll show them. And now? He looked at his watch. It's time to go to the meeting at my house. Well, fine. You didn't have to do me dirty like that. Okay, we saw the goddess Kali. And let's see what that new meeting is gonna bring us the next episode. Oh god, I don't even know what to say at this point. This is gonna be really interesting. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another episode. Bye.